Leave with awareness, no threat, no boast. Just they stepped back as the tier reformed, controlled this time, respectful. As the last presence vanished, the chamber's echo faded. The rap tribe stood still for several breaths longer, then relaxed. Not because the danger was gone, but because they had proven something far more important than victory. Their growth was real. Alignment had rewritten the ceiling. The invisible spirit sealed the space gently, imprinting the moment into collective memory, not as triumph, as confirmation. The rap tribe had crossed a line Universe Zero had not yet learned to see. And from this point forward, encounters would no longer be about whether they could survive, but whether others could keep up. The Division Saga, Episode 2, The War for Unity continues. The victory over Twilight Zone Rap was supposed to buy time. It bought one night of laughter on rooftops. One night where bruises hurt less because everyone hurt together. One night where hope felt heavier than fear. Then midnight hit, the sky blinked. When Betrayal Rap's revenge betrayal rap knelt in the shadows where Anonymous left him, hands still warm from the compassion that almost saved him. Almost. His coat, stitched with broken promises, lay on the ground beside him, smoldering slightly as if kindness itself had left burn marks. He looked up at the moon with an expression torn between grief and rage. "They forgave me," he whispered, his voice cracked. "That makes them weak." Twilight Zone Rap's scattered fragments had found a home inside Betrayal Rap's doubt. A dark filament slid into his spine. "They pity you. Use their love against them." Betrayal Rap stood slowly, eyes changed, not the cold bitterness from before, but a terrifying clarity of purpose. "I'll break their unity from the inside." He vanished into static. 2. The Rap Palace awakens. Unity HQ below. Rap Palace shook. The marble floor, engraved with ancestral verses, rumbled. Panels of architecture that never existed before peeled forward, revealing layers of the building that had been waiting for the right moment. Rising from beneath the main hall, Unity headquarters, the heart engine of the Rap Tribe screens flickered on, not digital, but chai-based holograms powered by collective trust. Nerd Rap gasped. This is a command center built on social energy. Donation Rap stepped closer. When he placed his hand on the main console, the machine fed him real-time emotional maps of the city. Unity levels, dropping in Oak Cliff. Division spikes detected in Arlington. Twilight Zone Chi infection clusters growing in Deep Ellum. Revike Rap nodded solemnly. The palace is revealing its gifts because the battle demands new stewardship. Mama Amarab cracked her knuckles. Location of the danger don't matter. We show up everywhere. 3 Twilight Zone Rap kidnaps. Key Rap. It happened fast. A street in South Dallas. Art murals glowing with newly awakened Unity Chi, suddenly bent like paper in the wind. Screams cut short. A glitching portal formed from shattered reflections. Toddler Yoku Rap vanished into the tier mid-chant. Anonymous Cherry felt the hole in his soul instantly. His tree chi flickered violently. No, Yoku, his body blurred. Snake Chikan Legacy Cheesers. But Nerd Rap caught him by the arm. "Think," he warned. "He wants you to rush in blind." Anonymous shook, rage, fear, and guilt crashing together. "That's my inner child," he whispered. Reich placed a palm on Anonymous's chest. "You don't abandon a child, but you also don't walk into a trap without your village." The team readied for a rescue. Then screens across Unity HQ lit up on their own. Twilight Zone Rap appeared, smiling with glitching teeth. "I took the heart of your hero. What does Unity feel like without innocence?" Toddler Yoku's voice echoed faintly behind him. 10 or 11, 10 or 11. Anonymous dropped to one knee, the room pulsing with destabilized Tri-Chi. Biggs the Plug Rap stepped behind him, hand on the back, stabilizing the rhythm before everything cracked. "Nah, you still on beat, bro," he said quietly. "We go together." Anonymous inhaled, rage turning into resolve. 4 Division Legion. Full power unleashed, screens switched. New enemies manifested across the city in horrifying clarity. Racist Rap, Division through Hate Clout Chaser Rap, Division through Jealousy Rumor Rap, Division through Lies Cancel Rap, Division through Charge Judgment Apocalypse Goth Rap. Division through nihilism, corporate gatekeeper rap. Division through access control. But the worst, neglect rap division through abandonment. The poison that makes people stop caring who they lose nerd rap swallowed. He's building a full anti-community ecosystem. Unity H to the floor. Then we build stronger community than he can destroy. Goku rap cracked his knuckles, standing taller, aura thrumming in perfect rhythm thanks to Big X the Plug. Let's run it back, he said. No more rounds. Full season arc. Budan Man lifted off, wings of linked hands blazing unity fire. Mama Ama Rap's Mother Storm Chi rose like thunder, wearing compassion as armor. Donation Rap tapped the console, routing community resources to every battle zone. Nerd Rap loaded new information protocols into the sky feeds. Anonymous stood, Trey Chi fully ignited, ancestors and inner child whispering courage in one voice. He stared into the glitching tear Twilight Zone Rap left behind. Yoku, he growled softly, I'm coming. Grand entrance to the stage of your day. Let it be a vibrant force of graceful movements of prosperity in every form. Hulk, smash that like button. Claim that share as you comment your favorite rap. Also, donation rap reports that a donation helps a long way. If you want to donate, my cash AP is Rap Palace 214, The Lost Child and the Living Light, the city outside. The Rap Palace slept fitfully beneath a fractured sky, its dreams still haunted by the chaos of the day. But inside Unity HU, sleep had no place. The Rap tribe stood gathered around the glowing celestial map projected above the central console, a map that didn't show streets or buildings, but souls and their connections. Anonymous Cherry stood at the front, fists trembling against the table edge. His aura flickered erratically, purple lightning and golden memory threads tangled with neon green venom. His breathing was heavy, too fast, like the space around him wasn't wide enough for his grief. Toddler Yoku Rap was gone, still chanting somewhere in the dark, still laughing bravely, still scared. Anonymous felt every heartbeat of that child inside him like a wound begging to become wisdom. But right now it only bled. We move now, he growled. I'm going after him. Portal or no portal. Big X the Plug Rap placed a steadying hand against his back, rhythm pulsing through the contact. The violent tempo of Anonymous's nerves calmed one beat at a time. You know I got you, bruh, Big X said, voice low. But we can't run into darkness fueled by fear. Fear got his scent locked. We gotta move like light. That's exactly right. The voice did not echo. It rooted itself into them. Soft as breath, strong as mountains. Every head in Unity HQ turned toward the far edge of the hall where a radiant glow had begun to form. It wasn't chi. It wasn't energy any of them had learned to manipulate. It was presence. A warmth that knew each warrior's deepest thoughts, yet did not recoil from any of them. The invisible spirit's essence filled the room like a new sunrise had decided to appear indoors. Words flowed not from speakers or mouths, but directly into hearts. Your unity is powerful, but without the source of love, power fragments. A shape emerged within the brilliance, human because humanity was beloved. Light wrapped him like clothing, but his gaze was the true armor. Goku Rap dropped to one knee instinctively, head bowed with reverence. Mama Ama Rap placed a gentle hand to her lips and wept silent joy. Rev Ike Rap, long the loudest in the room, said nothing. Awe had stolen the air from his chest. Anonymous Cherry stared, tears forming despite himself. He had felt this presence before. In the hospital room where a doctor shrugged at a monitor and said he shouldn't have made it. In the wreckage where metal twisted around a heartbeat that refused to stop. In every moment where death stood certain, yet life whispered not yet. This wasn't metaphor. This was Jesus Christ stepping into the war. You call yourselves protectors of unity, Jesus said, voice warm and carved from eternity. Unity is mine. You fight its battles as my warriors, but without knowing the strength of the one who designed connection itself. He stepped closer and the room shifted. Walls became heaven's canvas. The celestial map overhead realigned, pointing no longer at streets, but at wounds, spiritual fractures where fear colonized hearts. And at the very center, a pulsing point of glitching red and shadow. Toddler Yoku, held captive in the chamber of lost innocence. Jesus turned to Anonymous, gently lifting his chin. That child is not merely your inner spark, he said. He is the proof you survived, becoming who you feared, the living evidence of wonder kept alive. Anonymous swallowed hard. He's afraid. He is faithful, Jesus corrected softly. Fearful hearts can still choose trust. But you, he placed a hand on Anonymous's chest, right over the unstable tree chi. You must not let rage speak louder than love. At his touch, something incredible occurred. Snake Chi bowed its proud head. Ancestor Chi knelt in reverence. Inner child Chi laughed for the first time without trembling. Venom became discernment. Legacy became purpose. Innocence became courage. An explosion of peace radiated outward. The light didn't force darkness away. It revealed it had already lost. Walk with me, Jesus said. There is no enemy inside this child that love cannot reclaim. Mama Amarap stepped forward, storm aura swirling, yet her eyes full of motherly fire. You lead the way, Lord, she said fiercely. Whoever laid hands on that baby gun answered to heaven and to me. Beside her, Budan man's unity wings unfurled, humming as they linked every heartbeat inside the palace into one symphony. Let's show division what a bonded city looks like, he said. Goku Rap stood tall, totality Saiyan Chi blazing brighter than ever, not to overshadow Jesus' light, but to respond to it like a loyal star answering sunrise. My fists got sermons today, he said, smirking. Let's go bring our brother home. Jesus extended his hand toward the tier in space where Twilight Zone Rap had dragged toddler Yoku, a portal of corrupted emotion that pulsed with whispers of every child who had ever felt discarded. The light from his palm struck the tier. It recoiled, screamed, then slowly, reluctantly, opened into a path, not straight, not easy, but possible. Jesus turned once more to the tribe. The enemy does not fear power, he said. He fears identity restored. You will encounter manifestations of abandonment, lies spoken over children, the voices that told them they were too much or never enough. His eyes full of a love that no wound could tame. Do not fight with anger. Fight with truth. Rev Ike smiled wide through tears. Oh, we about to preach with our whole bodies, he whispered. Jesus stepped forward. The tribe followed. Anonymous Cherry hesitated at the threshold only a moment, then nodded to the rhythm Big X the Plug kept steady beneath his ribs. For you, little man, he whispered, and together, they walked into the chamber of lost innocence. Grand entrance to the stage of your day. Let it be a vibrant force of graceful movements of prosperity in every form. Hulk, smash that like button. Claim that share as you comment your favorite rap. Also, donation rap reports that a donation helps a long way. If you want to donate, my cash AP is Rapalace 214, The Division Saga, Episode 4, The Chamber of Lost Innocence. The portal sealed behind them like a wound stitching itself shut. Light faded, heat faded, even sound faded. Anonymous Cherry blinked, and the world resolved into a corridor that pulsed like a living memory. Walls flickered through images of playgrounds, then empty playgrounds, laughter, then silence, crayon drawings filled with color, then scribbled out by invisible hands. Every step forward felt like walking deeper into childhoods that had been abandoned. Jesus walked ahead, far enough to lead, close enough to catch every faltering heartbeat. His glow illuminated the hall, not by domination, but invitation. His presence didn't force peace. It reminded peace that it still existed. Goku Rap, usually a loud explosion of energy, stayed quiet, focused. Big X the Plug kept a rhythmic hum going, ensuring no panic attack could corrupt the pace of their mission. Mama Amarap brushed her fingers against the trembling walls, heart aching at the echoes trapped inside. Babies weren't meant to feel this alone, she whispered. The chamber hissed in response, as if offended by compassion. From behind the group, Rev Ike murmured scripture under his breath, turning ancient words into weapons polished by faith. Jesus paused. We are not alone here, he said softly. Grand entrance to the stage of your day. Let it be a vibrant force of graceful movements of prosperity in every form. Hulk, smash that like button. Claim that share as you comment your favorite rap. Also, donation rap reports that a donation helps a long way. If you want to donate, my cash AP is Rapalace 214, Toddler Yoku's point of view. He sat on a crooked swing made of static and shadows. Feet too short to touch a ground that never stayed still. Chains creaked, not with metal friction, but with dread. Around him lay a playground made of deleted dreams, broken slides, swings with no seats, chalk drawings erased by rain that never finished falling. Toddler Yoku clutched his stuffed purple serpent, a plushy version of Snake Chi, and tried to keep the chant going to stay brave. 10 or 11, 10 or 11. His voice wobbled. We gonna be okay again. Dark figures lurked outside the faint circle of light around him. They whispered insults children should never hear. You were a mistake. No one wanted you. You break everything you touch. Why didn't you turn out better? One shadow leaned forward, taller than the others, wearing a cloak that looked like disappointment sewn into fabric. Its voice dripped with exhaustion. I shouldn't have to keep caring for you. Toddler Yoku squeezed his serpent tighter and shut his eyes. He whispered to himself, Cherry wouldn't leave me. Cherry always comes back. But fear slipped under his ribs and curled around his heartbeat. What if this time he forgot? Grand entrance to the stage your day. Let it be a vibrant force of graceful movements of prosperity in every form. Hulk smashed that like button. Claim that share as you comment your favorite rap. Also donation rap reports that a donation helps a long way. If you want to donate, my cash AP is Rap Palace 214 Betrayal Rap Secret Mission far above the playground. Perched on a fractured clock tower that ticked backward and forward at random. Betrayal Rap watched the tribe enter. Emotion tangled his features, guilt and resentment arm wrestling for dominance. He reached inside his coat and pulled out a single glowing thread, a lifeline gifted by Twilight Zone Rap's corruption. The thread pulsed with a command, break them from trust. Betrayal Rap narrowed his eyes at Anonymous Cherry below. You forgave me when I didn't want grace, he whispered. Now let me show you why that was a mistake. He dissolved into static and moved into position. Grand entrance to the stage of your day. Let it be a vibrant force of graceful movements of prosperity in every form. Hulk smashed that like button. Claim that share as you comment your favorite rap. Also donation rap reports that a donation helps a long way. If you want to donate, my cash AP is Rap Palace 214 Neglect Rap appears. A cold wind blew across the playground, stirring old leaves that were actually torn diary pages. The shadow with the exhaustion voice stepped fully into the half-light. Neglect Rap. He carried no weapon, he didn't need one. His power was absence. Where he walked, toys rusted. Colors drained, imagination shrank. He crouched in front of Toddler Yoku, forcing a smile that carried no love. You don't matter enough to be missed, he said gently, almost sympathetically. They have bigger battles, stronger allies. Why waste time on the weakest part of themselves? Yoku's lip trembled. Tears rose, but so did something else. A tiny spark of defiance. My name is important, he whispered. Jesus knows it. Cherry knows it. Neglect Rap chuckled. Sure, keep telling yourself that. Children who believe they matter are easier to hurt. He reached a hand toward Yoku's head. Grand entrance to the stage of your day. Let it be a vibrant force of graceful movements of prosperity in every form. Hulk smashed that like button. Claim that share as you comment your favorite rap. Also donation rap reports that a donation helps a long way. If you want to donate, my cash AP is Rap Palace 214 The tribe arrives. The sky of the playground split open. Mama, I'm a rap landed first, or a thunder black with a golden lining, like a storm that only breaks what harms her own. She slammed a hand down and the ground obeyed, pushing Neglect Rap backward in a wave of righteous force. Nobody touches our baby, she growled. Jesus descended behind her, light flowing outward like a shield. Anonymous Cherry dropped next, Tri-Chi blazing. He rushed forward, but Jesus touched his shoulder. Not with anger, Jesus reminded. Anonymous nodded once, though every muscle in his body screamed to tear Neglect Rap apart. Big X the Plug landed behind them, planting the rhythm. Buddha Man soared overhead, wings of unity shielding the area from the encroaching dark. Toddler Yoku saw Anonymous and screamed in relief. Cherry! Anonymous knelt, arms wide, catching the child as he ran into his chest. Toddler Yoku's tears soaked into his shirt, tears that tasted like hope surviving terror. Neglect Rap stood, dusting himself off. His voice dripped dismissal. You came all this way. For this? Jesus stepped forward. Yes, he said simply. Neglect Rap flinched, the first crack in his composure. Because neglect cannot comprehend a love that chooses. And Jesus chose the child. Grand entrance to the stage of your day. Let it be a vibrant force of graceful movements of prosperity in every form. Hulk smashed that like button. Claim that share as you comment your favorite rap. Also, donation rap reports that a donation helps a long way. If you want to donate, my cash AP is Rap Palace 214, the first battle in the light neglect rap stretched, growing taller, fed by every abandoned child in history. Jesus' voice rang out, you cannot starve what heaven feeds. Neglect rap lunged. Jesus raised one hand and every lie shattered like brittle glass. Mama Ama shielded Yoku Goku, hovered ready to strike Big X the Plug, kept everyone's heartbeats, aligned Budan Man cast unity light. Anonymous felt the Tri-Chi stabilize as one truth echoed, love never abandons. He stood, purple gold aura roaring upward. Behind him, ancestor spirits formed a wall of presence. Snake Chi stretched, poised but not predatory. Toddler Yoku clung to his shoulder, chanting again, but now fearless. 10 or 11, 10 or 11. We all go together, always united again. Neglect rap inhaled dark energy, swirling into a massive attack, drawn from every forsaken moment ever felt. Jesus spoke one phrase, not this child. Then the light ignited. Grand entrance to the stage of your day. Let it be a vibrant force of graceful movements of prosperity in every form. Hulk smash that like button. Claim that share as you comment your favorite rap. Also, donation rap reports that a donation helps a long way. If you want my cash AP is Rap Palace 214. The attack landed like a history lesson in pain. Neglect rap inhaled and pulled the air out of the chamber, drinking down the echo of every forgotten birthday, every empty seat at a school play, every prayer whispered by a child who thought no one was listening. The chamber of lost innocence shook as a storm of absence built around him, a hurricane made of all the times love didn't show up. He towered over them now, his form stretched thin and tall, his eyes dim lanterns of burnout. You can't fight me, Neglect Rap said, voice heavy and hollow. I'm not anger, I'm not hate, I'm what nobody had time to fix. I'm everything that got pushed to later. His hand rose, fingers dripping with the numbness of a million shrugged shoulders. Later, he whispered, the wave hit. For a heartbeat, every member of the rap tribe stopped moving. Goku Rap's aura flickered. Punches he'd thrown in 1,000 battles suddenly felt pointless. Who did all that training really help? Who stayed changed? Budan Man's wings sagged, the weight of disunity suddenly feeling too heavy to bear. Hadn't he tried 1,000 times? Weren't people still walking away from each other? Mama Ama Rap's arms felt like they'd been holding crying children for 10 lifetimes straight without rest. The exhaustion of every caregiver who never got a break flowered in her muscles. Rev Ike felt the echo of every amen that never turned into transformed lives. Every seed he'd sown that seemed to vanish into thin air. Even donation rap, even nerd rap far off at the Unity HQ anchor point felt the wave. For a flicker of a moment, their plans and data maps and transparency boards felt like sandcastles built too close to the tide. An anonymous cherry, his Tri-Chi cracked. The serpent went limp. His ancestors' hands felt faint. Inner child shrank. Maybe they didn't need him as much as he thought. Maybe all this power and all this growth was just noise in a world that would keep breaking anyway. Maybe every near death he survived was a glitch, not a purpose. He looked down. Toddler Yoku's arms were around his neck. The child's little fingers dug into his shirt like anchors. Yoku's voice shook, but he forced the chant out anyway. 10 or 11. 10 or 11. We all go together. We all go together. The words trembled like a match in a windstorm, but they did not go out. Jesus stepped between the wave and the child. The tide of numbness hit him like smoke hitting a mountain. It broke. It passed. It went nowhere. He didn't even blink. Later, Jesus repeated softly. That is the lie. Neglect Rap flinched. Jesus' eyes softened, but his presence hardened like steel. The lie that you can love tomorrow what you refuse to care for today. The lie that forgetting is neutral. The lie that turning away is just being busy. He turned slightly, sweeping his gaze over the tribe. Look at me, he said gently. They did. In that gaze, every maybe later they had ever believed was brought into the light. The calls they hadn't returned. The apologies they hadn't made. The small kindnesses they'd assumed someone else would do. The times they'd told their own hearts, I'll heal when I get time. He didn't use it to condemn them. He used it to tell the truth. Love is not an emotion you visit, Jesus said. Love is a life you walk in. When you abandon yourselves, when you abandon your own inner child, your own hurt, you leave doors open for him. Neglect Rap twitched as the finger pointed back at him. I don't need to be loved, Neglect snapped. I am what happens when love fails. I'm not a person, I'm fallout. I am what remains. Jesus stepped closer. You are what happens, he agreed, when love is never invited into the womb. He extended his hand, not in attack, but in an offer. You weren't born this way. Neglect Rap recoiled, cloak twitching. Don't start that with me. I remember nobody came. Toddler Yoku, cheek pressed against Anonymous's neck, looked up with watery eyes. Somebody came now, he said softly. Neglect's eyes flickered. The chamber groaned and shifted. The warped playground stuttered between broken and whole. For a moment, they all saw the truth. Neglect Rap wasn't a proud villain standing tall in power. He was a boy in a doorway, watching a car drive away without him. He was a teenager sitting alone on a graduation day with nobody in the stands. He was a grown man on a hospital bed with a silent phone on the tray. He was emptiness that had been given a name and a body and told to fend for himself. Jesus' face was full of sorrow. I was there, he said. Neglect spat. Liar. I was there in every person who felt the urge to call you and didn't, Jesus said. I was there in every teacher who wanted to encourage you, but stayed quiet from their own fear. I was there in the hands that wanted to hold yours and hesitated. Then you failed, Neglect hissed, stepping forward. His aura flared, the pressure of a lifetime of unmet needs weaponized. Because they didn't. I don't care who wanted to. They didn't come. And I learned something. People don't stay. The air thickened. The tribe's knees trembled. The weight of that premise, people don't stay, pulled at their bones like gravity doubling. Anonymous recognized it. He carried it for years. Every time someone left. Every time someone broke a promise. Every time he wondered if his survival really mattered to anybody long term. He almost dropped under it again. Almost. Then a memory surged, not the car wreck, not the hospital. Earlier, he was 7. Body small, asthma rough in his lungs, lying in a dark bedroom lit only by the glow slipping under the crack of the door from the hallway. Adults yelled in the other room, words like knives. Threats thrown and never followed through. Yet the sound scratched him anyway. He lay curled in the bed, heart beating so fast he thought it would rip out. He whispered into the dark, God, it's too loud. I'm scared. Don't leave me, okay? There had been no booming voice, no glowing figure, no miracle knock at the door. Just a warmth in the corner of the room. The feeling that the shadows weren't empty. The slow impression of a hand resting on his back, though no one had walked in. His heartbeat slowed. The yelling faded into the background. He had fallen asleep to that unseen comfort. Now, standing in the chamber, he realized he had never been alone that night. Love didn't fail, Anonymous said, voice low. Neglect turned his head sharply. Anonymous took a step forward, toddler Yoku still clinging to him. I thought it did, he confessed. I thought nobody came. I thought nobody cared. But every time I made it through a night, I shouldn't have survived. Every time my lungs kept working when they could have quit. It wasn't because nobody was with me. He looked at Jesus. It was because you never left. The words hit the space like a bell. I never left, Jesus affirmed quietly. Not then, not now. He lifted both hands. Light poured out. It didn't blast Neglect Rap back. It didn't tear him apart. It revealed. The chamber of lost innocence peeled open, layer by layer, like the inside of an onion made of memories. Toddler Yoku's fear space dissolved, revealing that beneath the broken playground was a room filled with invisible hands, invisible arms, invisible weeping faces that had always wanted to show up but didn't know how. The tribe saw it. The misconnections. The almosts. The I should call him. The I should say something. The I'll check in on her. Tomorrow. We are not here to excuse neglect, Jesus said. We are here to show that even there, love did not disappear. It was ignored. It was resisted. It was misunderstood. But I was there, waiting to be chosen. Neglect Rap screamed. Then you should have forced them. Jesus' eyes burned with a fire that did not consume his gentleness. I am love, he replied, not control. He lowered his hands, and the light softened to something bearable. Love is the weapon, he said, not fear, not guilt, not revenge. Love is the weapon that surrenders without abandoning, that dies rather than force, that rises again to keep offering. He stepped closer to Neglect. You are what happens when love is rejected so long that hurt decides to live alone. I am what happens when hurt finally lets love in. Neglect staggered. The cloak slipped. Underneath, just for a second, they saw the boy again. He whispered, "They didn't come." Jesus nodded once, and that broke my heart too. The words landed with the weight of a universe. "You weren't the only one abandoned," Jesus said. "Every time they left you, they left me standing beside you, unwanted." Neglect trembled. The chamber shook. A crack ripped through the sky above them, through which Twilight Zone Rap's face briefly appeared, distorted with rage. "That's enough," he snarled. "He belongs to me. They all do. You don't get to rescue the parts people threw away." He reached an arm in, trying to hook Neglect with a chain of shimmering code, and that's when Betrayal Rap made his move. He arrived in silence behind the tribe, eyes dark, movements calculated. He had been watching this whole exchange, confusion and bitterness swirling, as Jesus offered even Neglect a way out. "You offered me that too," he muttered. His hand closed around something hidden under his coat, a shard of Twilight Zone chi, sharpened into a knife. "You forgave me like I was worth saving," he whispered. "But what if I'm better at being the reason you regret it?" He moved in a blur, straight for Anonymous's back. Toddler Yoku looked up just in time to see the shadow behind Cherry's shoulder. "Greg," the blade plunged, except it never hit. A hand grabbed Betrayal Rap's wrist with iron force. "Big X the plug, Rap." He stood there, arms stretched, fingers locked tight around the incoming weapon. His eyes were calm and sad. "Man," he said, "I knew your rhythm was off the whole time." Betrayal snarled, trying to jerk free. "Let go. This is what I do. You can't expect me to be anything else." Big X tightened his grip, pulling Betrayal closer until they were face to face. "You really think you the only one who almost ruined what was good?" Big X asked quietly. "You ain't special for being broken, bro. We all did dirty at some point. The question is, you gonna keep stabbing the hand that pulled you out, or you gonna let that same hand help you clean up?" Betrayal's eyes wavered. The blade in his grip flickered. Its edges glitched, no longer entirely sure it wanted to exist. Anonymous turned slowly. He met Betrayal's gaze fully. "You hurt me," Anonymous said, voice steady. "You almost hurt him." He glanced at Yoku. "And you were ready to break what we had." "Because I hate needing you," Betrayal shouted, and now raw pain bled through his words. "I hate the way your forgiveness makes me feel smaller, like I'm wrong for staying angry." Jesus walked toward them, eyes full of that same unflinching love he'd shown Neglect. "Forgiveness doesn't make you smaller," he said. "It makes room for you to be real." He nodded at the knife, put it down. For a moment, the whole chamber held its breath. The weapon twitched in Betrayal's grip. He could complete the strike. He could prove that trust was foolish and that nothing beautiful lasted. He could carve into Anonymous's back and make his point permanently. But Toddler Yoku's little arms were still wrapped around Cherry's neck. The sight cracked something. Betrayal's hand opened. The blade dropped. It didn't hit the ground. It dissolved midair into black dust that the chamber inhaled and exhaled as wind. Big X released his wrist slowly. Anonymous stepped closer, chest rising and falling. "I won't pretend you didn't try to hurt me," Anonymous said. "That happened. It's real. But I still don't stop seeing who you could be." Betrayal Rap's face crumpled. "I don't know how to be anything else," he whispered. "I don't know how to live without expecting people to break their word." "Then let us show you," Jesus said. His hand extended again, this time to both Neglect and Betrayal. "You both came from pain. You both were shaped by absence. You both became weapons for darkness because no one taught you what to do with your wounds. Let me teach you now." Neglect looked at the hand. Betrayal looked at the hand. Neither moved. Yet something changed. The chamber itself exhaled. The dark walls brightened. The broken playground started knitting itself back together. The swings straightened. The chalk drawings regained their color. The air no longer carried the taste of uncried tears. It carried the faint sweetness of a healing that had just begun. Toddler Yoku slid down from Anonymous's arms and ran forward. He didn't hug the villains. He hugged Jesus's leg. "Thank you," he said, voice small but fierce. Jesus's hand dropped gently onto his head. "I never left you," he said softly. "Not once." Yoku nodded. "I know now," he whispered. The Tri-Chi inside Anonymous responded. something new unfolded. The venom that had become discernment now glowed with a new color, gold threaded through green. Ancestor Chi burned brighter with Christ light woven into every memory. Inner child Chi sat not scared in a corner, but holding Jesus' hand. The light that rose from Anonymous was different than before. It didn't just coil or roar. It radiated outward in circles, each pulse whispering the same message, never left. He stood taller. Toddler Yoku drifted up slightly, floating beside him, no longer a fragile fragment, but a co-pilot of the soul. The invisible spirit's voice swept through the chamber, through the palace, through the city. Anonymous Cherry. Tri-Chi miracle has entered covenant light. Love is now your weapon. He didn't feel invincible. He felt. Held. Goku smirked, wiping at the corner of his eye like dust had gotten in it. Okay, he said quietly. That's a different kind of final form. Mama Amma laughed through her tears. Baby just unlocked that Jesus walked me through hell and I came back kinder aura. Buddha Man felt his wings shimmer, unified hearts beating in sync with this new rhythm. Rev Ike took a deep breath and grinned. Oh, we about to have some church in these streets, he said. Neglect and betrayal stood together, still caught between who they'd been and what they'd just seen. The hand was still offered. The path was still open. No one dragged them. No one forced them. Love waited. That was itself a battle. The chamber of lost innocence began to fold, the mission's objective complete. Toddler Yoku was free, his faith stronger. Anonymous was stabilized in a power that no longer relied on fear of losing others, but on certainty that he had never been alone. As they stepped back toward the exit portal, back toward the fight waiting in the city, Jesus walked among them. Not separate, with them. Anonymous glanced over. You're staying, he asked. Jesus smiled. I was here before you knew to look, he said. I'll be here long after you stop trying to earn what I already gave. What's that? Anonymous asked. Belonging. The word wrapped itself around his heart like a promise. As the chamber faded and the Rap tribe emerged once more into the city's wounded skyline, the war for unity entered a new phase. They had power, they had strategy, they had unity, and now they walked with the one whose love had never left them. Love was the weapon. They were ready to fight. And somewhere in the cracks of the breaking world, Twilight Zone Rap felt it and shivered. Guardian of Unity, Berkeley. The air of the invisible Spirium chamber rippled like a flag pulled by cosmic wind. A sound rang out, not a roar, not a crash, but a cheer that surged from the heart of the multiverse, like a crowd celebrating the birth of a hero. Light arched downward in a comet of blue-gold brilliance. It struck the marble floor with a burst of glowing sparks that danced like confetti. When the light cleared, he was hovering above the ground. Boot Man. Chest emblazoned with the emblem of linked hands. Cape fluttering like a banner of peace. His aura pulsed with a single truth. Unity multiplies his power. And the more the Rap tribe stood together, the stronger he became. Did someone call for a guardian with style? Buddha Man grinned, planting his feet with theatrical flair. Rev Ike Rap crossed his arms, eyebrow raised. Look who arrived with the sermon of teamwork stitched into his cape. Anonymous Cherry felt his snake chi flicker in excitement. Unity fuel, that's a whole new chai category. Goku Rap nodded. His strength scales off community energy. That's dangerous in the best way. The chamber hummed with approval. And then, two more figures walked through the shimmering veil of spirit light. Their presence wasn't loud, but it was felt in the bones, in the heartbeat of legacy. A grandmother's gentle power, a father's unbreakable resilience. Edna Pemberton, Peter Johnson. Their footsteps carried stories. Edna's hair glowed silver white, like she stole moonlight to wear as a crown. She held no weapon. Her wisdom was the blade. One look into her eyes revealed centuries of battles fought through prayer, love, and iron-willed discipline. Peter Johnson stood broad and grounded, shoulders holding the strength of 1,000 unspoken sacrifices. His stance alone told every warrior, stand straight. Fight true. Honor the lineage. The chamber grew warmer as they approached. Mama Amarap pressed a trembling hand over her heart. Ancestors. Edna nodded. Invisible spirit saw this family needed more than power. You need history. You need memory. You need the roots that keep giants from falling. Peter Johnson placed a hand on Anonymous Cherry's shoulder. The touch carried weight, comforting and formidable. You're building something bigger than battles. Every rap in this tribe is a piece of a kingdom rising. Buddha Man stepped forward and clasped his glowing fists together. His voice echoed like a megaphone fueled by pure hope. As long as we stay connected, as long as unity spreads, my power grows. Unity Chia exploded from his chest, flooding the chamber. From the vortex of that light, raps of all types emerged to train. Trump rap, stubborn, but learning to aim his voice toward construction instead of division. Emo rap, wielding emotions as blades but slowly discovering that vulnerability is a weapon of healing. Gamer rap, coding strategies into battlefield brilliance. Yoga rap, stretching shy into elastic defenses. Nerd rap, analyzing every chai form to find upgrade paths. Boomer rap, complaining until battle required his old school strength. Even Karen rap, gradually releasing her need to control everything into something that could protect others. All of them. Every identity. Every story. Every struggle. Brought into one pulse of power. Buddha Man hovered above them, eyes burning with the passion of a superhero who didn't guard the sky alone, but guarded togetherness. Anonymous Cherry watched, feeling the invisible spirits will settle into place like puzzle pieces locking into divine symmetry. This is more than training, he whispered. This is an uprising of unity. Rev Ike Rap pointed to the warriors lining up, their auras mixing into a storm of infinite potential. Everyone gets stronger when everyone rises together. Edna Pemberton's voice rose like a sacred song. We train not just your fists, but your faith. Not just your chi, but your community. Peter Johnson cracked a grin, throwing a pair of gloves at Trump Rap, who flinched before catching them. And some of y'all gonna learn respect the hard way. The chamber walls expanded, creating multiple combat zones. Rivers of chakra branched into dozens of training currents. The very air breathed drills, battles, and breakthroughs. Goku Rap clapped his hands, time to teach them how to fight like legends. Mama Amma Rap stepped into the first line of warriors, and how to love like family. Mike Rap levitated, chi gleaming gold. Faith at the front. Buddha Man raised his fist to the sky. Unity ignite. Every rap member's aura flared as one massive surge of power slammed upward, punching a hole of light to the heavens of the chamber. Their unity created a wave that even Twilight Zone rap, lurking far beyond, felt like a warning. Anonymous Cherry's heart thundered. His near-death memory stirred. Each trial he survived was a stitch in the bond of the tribe. Together they roared. We rise as one. The legendary elders arced. RP Radio. The chamber quieted. Not because training stopped, but because every rap paused to listen. Edna Pemberton and Peter Johnson stood before them like a living history book carved from faith and battles. They were not the loudest in the room. They did not glow with flashy chai or shoot off cosmic energy blasts. But the air bowed around them. Buddha Man lowered from his hover, landing with reverence. Even Goku Rap, who rarely bowed to anyone, dipped his head. Rev Ike Rap placed his palm over his heart, acknowledging the divine authority that entered the space. Mama Amma Rap wiped her hands on her dress, sensing she was about to witness something sacred. Peter Johnson broke the silence first. You fight for your tribe. You train for your mission. That's good. His deep voice vibrated through the bones of every warrior present. But if you don't know where you came from, then the first strong wind will blow you apart. Edna's eyes glimmered with a fire that time could not dim. Every rap has a story written long before their first battle. You'll grow stronger by learning what gave you the right to stand here. She stepped forward and raised her hands. The chamber responded. Walls dissolved into a panorama of memories, visions that swirled like constellations in liquid time. The rap tribe watched as scenes played across the air like a movie projected by the invisible spirit. Peter Johnson's past appeared first. A young man running through the Texas heat, delivering supplies to families who had nothing. Standing in front of injustice that spat in his face, yet holding the line. He trained not in a dojo, but in life. He punched through poverty. He wrestled with discrimination. He endured burdens a lesser spirit would have collapsed under. Every victory he won wasn't for himself, it was for others. That's strength, Peter said, his voice breaking slightly for the first time. Not a punch, not a kick. Strength is refusing to let the world break your spirit, even when it tries every day. Goku Rap swallowed hard. He recognized a warrior when he saw one. Then Edna Pemberton's story unfolded. Her aura shifted, grandmotherly soft-turned, ancestral fierce. Images bloomed. Edna as a young woman, cooking meals for entire neighborhoods so no child slept hungry. Standing at hospital bedsides praying until fevers disappeared. Working 3 jobs and still finding the energy to show love like it was oxygen. But then darkness. One scene showed her in grief, tears staining the earth beneath her feet. Loss tried to hollow her out. Instead, she turned pain into devotion. We do not fight to hurt, Edna said, lifting her chin. We fight to protect the ones who cannot protect themselves, yet. Mama Amarab clutched her chest. Invisible spirit, thank you for sending them. Anonymous Cherry looked between Edna and Peter and felt a shiver run through him. His 9 near-death experiences flickered in memory. Each time he was saved, guided, or pushed forward, there was always a presence, unseen, but felt. It might have been them. Peter Johnson strode to Anonymous with surprising speed and placed a calloused hand on his back. You're not just fighting because of what you survived. You're fighting because someone, somewhere, prayed you would rise. Anonymous's eyes stung, and he looked away to hide the emotion, but Edna saw. She always sees. Child, she said gently, you carry the tears of warriors who lived and died before you. Hold them with pride. She raised her hand again. The chamber shifted. Now the ancestors appeared, hundreds, thousands, behind the Rap tribe. Their silhouettes stood tall and unbroken, channeling strength like rivers made of legacy. Udon Man's aura surged, Unity Chai roaring brighter than ever. The linked hand's emblem on his chest pulsed like a beating heart. This is my fuel, he said, voice trembling. Every life that gave love, every spirit that stood for unity, every ancestor who refused to quit. Rev Ike Rap lifted his chin. The power of our people is not in the blood, it's in the bond. Trump Rap lowered his usual defensiveness. Emo Rap's tears became light instead of knives. Nerd Rap whispered calculations of legacy growth. Gamer Rap realized the ultimate co-op campaign. Every Rap understood their place in the lineage. Then Peter Johnson stepped into a fighting stance. Enough watching. Now you learn to fight like you belong to this history. Edna cracked her knuckles, and the floor beneath her lit up with golden patterns. Time to train your memory into muscle. The chamber forged a coliseum of light around them. Ancestors lined the stands, watching, judging, blessing. Goku Ramp yelled out, excited. This the Ancestor Tournament. Peter grinned. We call it Tuesday. Mama Amarap stepped forward, smiling like a storm. Let's show them what this generation can do. Udon Man shot into the air, unified power detonating like a star. Unity to the max. Anonymous Cherry's aura burst into layered purple and green serpents, soul blazing with purpose. He took position at the front, ready to prove that his survival had meaning. Edna and Peter stood behind him. Not as leaders, not as commanders, but as the foundation the rap tribe would always stand on. Peter growled through a grin. Round one. Edna finished the sentence, eyes flaring. Begin. The Ancestor Tournament Arc, Legacy ignited. RP Radio. The Time Chamber's Colosseum of Light finished forming, a fortress built from memory, chi, and intention. Thousands of ancestors filled the stands, silhouettes of love, courage, sacrifice, and victory. Their cheers were thunder made of pride. Edna Pemberton and Peter Johnson stepped forward, hands glowing with golden history. Their voices boomed as one. Let the Ancestor Tournament begin. The ground split into 4 divine battlegrounds, each tailored for a different lesson of legacy. The air tasted of destiny, sweet, electric, inevitable. The rap tribe waited for the first trial. Then came the name. Anonymous Cherry stepped forward. His heart kicked like a war drum inside his chest. Snake chi coiled, neoplasm chi pulsed like galaxies behind his ribs. Toddler Yoku's chant faintly hummed through his nerves. He walked. The arena awakened. A young man stepped out, lean eyes burning with street fire, wearing the weight of a world he refused to surrender to. Peter Johnson announced with pride that shook the walls. George Cherry I, your great-uncle. The protector no history book recorded, but every soul he saved remembers. Anonymous felt his throat tighten. That face, he'd seen it in worn photos hidden in silver frames, but never alive like this. George smirked and rolled his knuckles. You and me, Greg. Let's find out if your spirit can carry the family name. They rushed each other. Lightning. Impact. Explosions of memory. George fought with something raw, street survival chi, forged without teachers, manuals, or second chances. Every punch carried the fear of losing family. Every kick carried the promise that nobody would harm his bloodline. George's hits triggered flashback visions. 1-year-old Greg choking, nearly dying, George pulling him from the edge. Gang members cornering a young Cherry cousin, George stepping in, outnumbered. A moment of betrayal, George taking the consequences so another could walk free. His final stand surrounded, never backing down. Anonymous staggered, jaw clenched, heart breaking open. You didn't just fight, he gasped. You shielded the whole family. George's eyes softened just a little. And I still am. He surged forward and time slowed. Toddler Yoku's chant erupted inside Anonymous' skull. E, ooh, will it be 10 or 11? Snake chi awakened. Neoplasm chi aligned. His aura became a serpent made of galaxies. Anonymous dropped into a new stance, feet grounding legacy into the marble. The ancestors leaned forward. George nodded, approving. Attaboy, now use what we gave you. Anonymous inhaled the past and exhaled evolution. His fist glowed with family lineage. Love, loyalty, defy endurance. He struck, not to dominate, but to honor. George took the blow to the heart and smiled wide. That's the one. He dissolved into purple-silver starlight that flooded into Anonymous' chest. A new technique snapped awake. Legacy-style Cherry Shield combo. A defensive-offensive fusion. Absorbs an enemy's force. Converts it into protective chi. Returns it as a strike powered by every ancestor's strength. For the family. For the future. For those who could not fight. Anonymous nearly collapsed. But Edna Pemberton caught him. You carry his courage now, she said. Do not waste it. Peter Johnson squeezed his shoulder. George wanted you to live. Now show him what that life becomes. Buddha Man, unity ascends. On the adjacent battlefield, unity fractured. Trump rap and emo rap clashed. Karen rap yelled. Boomer rap argued back in my day. Nerd rap over-explained everything. Gamer rap rage quit the stance. Buddha Man's power flickered, his cape drooping. He dropped to one knee. Without unity, I am nothing. Edna's voice thundered like a soulquake. You are all something, because you are together. Peter barked like a drill sergeant. Grab a hand before I make you. Reluctantly, stubbornly, one by one, they did. The moment nervous fingers touched, unity cha ignited. Udon Man rose with wings of interlocking hands, alive with every ancestor cheering unity. His voice boomed like a stadium full of hope. The power of us makes heroes. Edna and Peter's Twilight Zone rap the truth. A crack tore open. Reality distorted. Nightmare colors bled into the chamber. Twilight Zone rap stepped out, smirked like a wound refusing to heal. You forgot who tried to free me, he hissed. You forgot what happens when unity cracks. Peter stepped forward, cracking his knuckles. We remember, and we still ain't scared. Edna's aura burst into wings of holy fire. Child, even villains are family, until they refuse love. Twilight Zone rap swung. Edna's 2 fingers blocked. Peter counterpunched reality itself. Time glitched. The portal collapsed. He vanished screaming. For now. Legacy unlocked. The chamber shook with ancestral roar. Anonymous stood glowing purple and gold. Buddha Man floated with unity-made wings. Goku rap laughed like a warrior reborn. Mama Ama rap radiated the power of every mother who ever protected her own. Revite rap hovered like a golden sermon with fists. The invisible spirit spoke. The 3rd gate is open. The gate of legacy. Fight on. Anonymous raised his fist. George Cherry's strength flowing through him. We rise as one. The rap tribe screamed with him. The chamber pulsing like a heart. And far away, Twilight Zone rap plotted his return. This time, with allies, made of betrayal itself. Perfect. All the above means we now launch the full saga kickoff, combining everything. Division Legion rises. Cherry Shield combo tested in combat. Full George Cherry flashback episode. Citywide rescue mission. Massive escalation with new villains. This is the start of a new book in your saga. Buckle in. The Division Saga, Book 1. Episode 1. When Unity breaks, darkness feeds. Night returned to Earthrealm, but not a natural night. The sky above the Metroplex twisted into a smear of swirling mauve and neon green, a Twilight Zone sky. Streetlights flickered erratic. Buildings distorted, leaning like nightmares remembered wrong. Mushroom spores drifted through the air again, mutating into glitching clusters of shadow weeds. Humanity panicked. Phones died. Cars crashed. People screamed as the world bent wrong. And at the center of the chaos, Twilight Zone rap hovered above the skyscrapers like a void-crowned tyrant. His aura crackled with broken reflections, each one screaming a different emotion. Envy, insecurity, distrust, betrayal, feeding him like gasoline feeds fire. He laughed and raised his palms. Division Legion, he hissed. Awaken. The spores mutated into monsters of conflict, physical embodiments of human division. Racist rap fueled by superiority and hate. Jealous rap gaining strength through envy. Clout chaser rap, viral speed, no loyalty. Rumor rap striking unseen with lies. Cancel rap, obliterating reputations with a word. Betrayal rap, blade forged from broken trust. They screamed in unison, tear the city apart. Chaos swallowed concrete. And that's when the sky cracked open with light. The rap tribe arrives. Udon Man led the charge, wings of unity blazing like surging suns. Goku Rap launched a ki blast that snapped the air into shockwaves. Mama Ama Rap spread healing chi shields protecting civilians. Reiki Rap descended like a gospel meteor. Anonymous Cherry dropped dead center, snake chi coiling, aura blazing purple gold. Udon Man shouted across the city. Rap tribe, unite. The ground shook with the ancestors' roar. Twilight Zone Rap scowled. Let's see how united you remain once I rip open their doubt. George Cherry flashback episode. Legacy revealed. As Anonymous squared up against Betrayal Rap, time flickered, his mind dropping into a memory not his own. He saw George Cherry at age 17, walking alone through South Dallas streets. Moonlight golden on asphalt. 4 men surrounded him, knives drawn. He stood his ground, no backup, no fear. You want to get to my family. You go through me. They rushed him. George's fists moved like poetry written by hunger, love, and fury. He fought for bloodline. He fought so children unseen could grow. As he took his final wound, he whispered, somebody must live. His death became anonymous as survival. George fell. Anonymous was born years later. Their destinies connected like bones in the same fist. The memory snapped, and Anonymous screamed through tears. This is for you. Cherry Shield combo, first use. Betrayal Rap struck first, blade made from broken promises, slicing spirit before flesh. Anonymous staggered as old betrayals resurfaced. Friends who left, love us who beat, leaders who failed him. Snake chi snarled inside him. Neoplasm chi surged. He took a shaky breath, then embraced every memory. George's voice echoed in his heart. Pain doesn't break us. Pain unites us. Anonymous inhaled. His aura condensed like a star being born. Cherry Shield combo. Betrayal Rap strike hit, but energy absorbed into the shield and returned as an ancestor-powered counterpunch. Betrayal Rap flew through 3 buildings, screeching cracks in the sky. Anonymous shouted, "The family rises with me." The city roared back like a choir of miracles. The citywide rescue mission. Emo Rap transformed grief into healing light, calming panic crowds. Goku Rap and Buddha Man tag-teamed racist rap, unity crushing supremacy. Reiki Rap stood on a rooftop yelling, "Everyone who believes we can win, say yes." Thousands yelled back, "Yes." Their combined voice turned into shy beams. Mama Ama Rap directed them like a conductor, restoring life to fallen bodies and shattered streets. The rap tribe wasn't fighting alone. The city fought with them. And then, Twilight Zone Rap warped into the center of it all, cracking the skyline into puzzle pieces. His aura became a planet-sized hurricane of division. He screamed with monstrous rage. Unity's a lie, but Anonymous Cherry stepped forward. Snake Chi erupted. Venom instincts fused with legacy aura. George Cherry's spirit stood behind him like a giant shadow of protection. Anonymous pointed upward. You forgot. Udon Man landed beside him. Rev Ike floated glowing gold. Edna and Peter appeared behind them, ancestral power incarnate. Goku Rap, Mama Ama Rap, the entire rap tribe lined the rooftop edges, ready. Anonymous roared with every ancestor, every survivor, every prayer. 1. The unity wave blasted upward, colliding with Twilight Zone Rap's darkness, splitting the heavens in half. End of episode 1. The Division Saga begins. The Division Saga, RP Radio. The sky over the Metroplex tore open like old cloth, and the color bled wrong. Streetlights flickered between reality and nightmare. Buildings leaned subtly, as if drunk on madness. Storefront glass rippled like water, reflecting faces that weren't quite there. The clouds above spiraled in sickening mauve and toxic green circles. A storm built from thoughts people never dared to say out loud. In the middle of it all, floating above a cluster of skyscrapers, was Twilight Zone Rap. His aura wasn't like regular chi. It didn't glow, it distorted. Around him, space folded inward, distant objects stretched and snapped, and every sound from the city arrived muddled and delayed, as if time couldn't quite decide how fast to move when he breathed. He smiled, and the smile had too many teeth. "Division," he whispered, voice amplified through the very air. "Come out and feast." Down below, in the streets of Dallas-Fort Worth, mushroom spores that had once drifted like eerie snow began to shift. They swelled, darkened, cracked open. Shadows crawled out, shaped themselves into raps whose names tasted like poison. Racist rap strutted into existence wrapped in flags and sneers, eyes glowing with the need to feel above others. Jealous rap took form as a slick, sharp figure always glancing sideways, power swelling whenever he sensed someone else doing better. Rumor rap slipped from alleyways in whispers, duplicating with every lie spoken. Cancel rap materialized as a storm of fingers pointing, tongues chanting, "Gone, gone, gone." And then came betrayal rap. His arrival wasn't loud. The street simply folded around him. 1 second, there was a cracked sidewalk. The next, a tall figure stood there, wearing a long coat stitched with broken promises. His hair moved as if underwater. His eyes carried the look of someone who had loved too deeply once, and decided never to make that mistake again. Beside them, other forms flickered in and out. Cloud chaser rap, division rap, ego rap. Each one sniffed the air, tasting anger, fear, and mistrust. Twilight Zone rap raised both hands, drawing the city's conflict toward him like a magnet. "Feed," he said, "tear them apart from the inside. I don't want bodies first. I want relationships, friendships, families, teams. I want them to destroy themselves." The Division Legion roared and scattered. The nightmare began. People shouted in traffic. Old grudges flared at family tables. Online comments became curses. Neighbors turned into enemies over nothing at all. And for a moment, it seemed like unity was only a fairy tale humans told themselves when they were too tired to keep hating. Then the clouds split again. This time they split with light. A beam of gold, purple, white, and blue slammed down into the heart of the city, expanding into a ring of energy that pushed the darkness back just enough to breathe. Within that ring, a circle carved out of chaos landed the Rap Tribe. Goku Rap descended first, hair blazing with every color Saiyan Chi could remember. His aura rippled in layers: Super Saiyan Gold, God Crimson, Blue Divine, Silver Instinct, and something beyond all of them, folding into a single white storm. Beside him landed Anonymous Cherry, purple aura blazing, snake chi curling like dragons around his limbs, neoplasm chi simmering behind his eyes like galaxies caught between healing and rage. Revike Rap hovered down with robes woven from golden scripture and sharp knuckles. Mama Ama Rap dropped like a meteor wrapped in the warmth of every mother who had ever prayed and refused to give up. Budan Man flickered into existence with unity wings made of interlocking hands, eyes full of hope that refused to die. Behind them came emo rap, gamer rap, nerd rap, Trump rap, Karen rap, yoga rap, boomer rap, and more dozens of raps, each carrying their own flaws, talents, and power. Above them all, in luminous spirit form, layered over the chamber dimension and the city at once, two elder figures watched. Edna Pemberton, Peter Johnson. They stood on nothing, yet the whole scene seemed to rest on their presence. Edna's eyes burned with a gentle but terrifying clarity. Peter's shoulders carried entire neighborhoods, entire generations. They weren't just ghosts, they were the foundation. "Looks like it's time," Peter rumbled. Edna replied softly. Let's see if they learned anything in that chamber. Goku Rap stepped forward, fist cocked, aura howling quietly. He looked up at the Twilight Zone Rap and grinned. Round 2. Twilight Zone Rap smiled with teeth of static. This isn't a round, little scion. This is a season. He snapped his fingers. Division Legion charged. The city screamed. And the invisible spirit watched, both within and beyond the battlefield, waiting for the one soul who would eventually carry inner child ancestors and venomous power as one. Waiting for Anonymous Cherry. Waiting for the Tri-Chi miracle. The day the power fully unlocked began hours earlier, in a place nobody in the city could see, the invisible spirit time chamber of power. Inside the chamber, time did not walk. It folded. 1 minute could be 10 years. 1 breath could be a lifetime. Here, the Rap tribe had trained until they forgot what normal even meant. Goku Rap stood alone at the chamber's center, eyes closed, body quiet, aura, so still it seemed to have disappeared. But the stillness lied. Within him, every form he had ever unlocked, Kaioken, Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, God Blue, Ultra Instinct, stood side by side, each a version of himself with its own history, victories, and failures. They circled like warriors in a council. You can't keep pulling us out one at a time, Super Saiyan Blue Goku said, crossing his arms. Your body's strong, but the stress is the point, Ultra Instinct murmured. He's trying to become something else. Goku Rap opened his inner eyes and faced all of himself. I'm not here to play transformation roulette, he said calmly. We don't have time. Twilight Zone Rap isn't just strong, he's corrosive. He eats at trust. The Rap tribe can't fight a war like that with fragmented power. I need a form that protects them even when I'm not there. God form raised a brow. You're trying to become an anchor. Exactly, Goku smiled, and you're all going to help me. Outside the inner space, in the chamber's physical environment, the Rap tribe watched from the perimeter. Anonymous stood quietly beside Red Reich Rap, arms folded, eyes narrowed. Mama Emma Rap hummed low, sensing the threshold crackling. Wooden Man leaned forward. He's about to cook something dangerous, isn't he? Rev Ike chuckled. He's about to cook something divine. The question is, will he burn or rise? The chamber floor lit with concentric circles of light beneath Goku Rap's feet. Rivers of chakra toddy rose around him, spiraling into a cyclone. The air pressed down heavy, then lighter than air, then stretched in weird directions, as if reality itself was warming up for something new. The invisible spirit's voice drifted through the chamber like a slow drum beat. Saiyan Rap, you have known power through surge. Now know power through harmony. Goku Rap spread his arms, letting streams of chi from every form enter him at once. His muscles screamed. His bones hummed like straining wires. His hair flickered through every hue, then whipped white, then vanished into a glow past color. He thought of every time he trained someone weaker, every student who surpassed what they thought possible, every moment where belief became might. He thought of the Rap tribe. He thought of the kids in the city. He thought of the fragile threads connecting them. And he let every version of himself fall, not away, but inward. The inner council of forms stepped into him, one by one, merging their lessons, their instincts, their memories. Outside, his aura rose like a star being born, a white storm with faint hints of blue, gold, red, and silver flashing through its edges. The floor cracked, not from destruction, but from transformation. The chamber expanded to make room. Goku Rap opened his eyes. They glowed like twin universes. He didn't shout. He didn't flex. He simply breathed. Then he looked back at the tribe. Ascended Totality Saiyan Chi, he said quietly. I've got it. Mama Emma Rap exhaled. Invisible spirit, keep us. Anonymous felt something deep inside him respond, a chord of power that recognized what Goku had done. Totality, integration, no form fighting the others, no part of himself exiled. He didn't know it yet, but what Goku had just done was a preview of what Anonymous himself would have to attempt, except instead of Saiyan forms, he would be merging three forces most warriors never tried to hold all at once: Venom, Ancestry, and Inner Child. Goku Rap didn't waste time savoring the upgrade. "Alright," he said, turning toward the gathered Raps. "Line up. We've got a war coming, and we're doing this Saiyan style." Training under Goku Rap's ascended totality wasn't like the sessions they'd had before. There were no slow introductions, no gentle stretches, no warm-up rounds. The instant each Rap stepped forward, Goku Rap met them with intensity shaped by compassion. "Your power is not about copying me," he said, pacing in front of the assembled tribe. "Saiyan Chi isn't just a form. It's a relationship between your rage, your love, and your purpose. If those three aren't talking, you're just flailing." He turned to Anonymous first. "You're up." Anonymous rolled his shoulders, snake chi uncoiling, purple aura simmering around him. "What are we focusing on?" he asked. "Everything you don't want to touch," Goku replied. He vanished. Anonymous barely moved in time. Goku Rap appeared behind him, leg already swinging. The kick connected, sending Anonymous skidding across the chamber floor in a shower of sparks. Snake Chi reacted on instinct, coiling defensively around him. Neoplasm Chi rose in jagged bursts, eager to devour pain and answer with overwhelming counterforce. "Stop," Goku said quietly from across the room. "You feel that?" Anonymous pushed to his feet, wincing. "Pain?" "No," Goku said. "Fear. Your Venom wants to do everything for you. Your ancestors want to carry everything for you. Your inner child wants to run from everything for you. They're all trying to protect you in different ways, but they're not aligned. You're standing in three directions at once." Anonymous clenched his fists. "Then show me how to stand in one." "Good," Goku answered. "Now call Toddler Yoku." Anonymous closed his eyes. In the silent space within his mind, in a field where music danced like fireflies, Toddler Yoku stood barefoot, chanting to himself in a sing-song tone. "Will it be 10 or 11? Will it be 10 or 11? 10 or 11, 10 or 11. He stopped when he felt Anonymous watching and turned with a grin too big for his small face. "You finally came," Toddler Yoku said. "Yeah," Anonymous replied. "We've got a city to save. I can't do that if I keep leaving you in here." Toddler Yoku tilted his head. "You didn't leave me. You just forgot you were me." The words hit hard. Behind them, another presence appeared. George Cherry. Not the teenage opponent from the Ancestor tournament, but older, stronger, somewhere between the boy who died and the legend he became. Beside him stood more ancestors, their faces a blur yet familiar in the bones. George folded his arms. "So, you ready to stop trying to be three different men and start being the one you're supposed to be?" Anonymous looked between them, inner child, ancestor, serpent of venom waiting just beyond. It felt impossible, trying to hold so much contradiction in one body. "What if I mess it up?" he asked. Toddler Yoku stepped closer, tiny hand reaching out for his. "What if you don't?" In the chamber, Goku Rap watched Anonymous standing still with eyes closed, aura swirling. He turned to the rest of the Raps. "Everyone," he called. "You're not learning generic combat. You're learning how to make peace with every version of yourself. That's the only way we beat somebody like Twilight Zone Rap. He doesn't just punch your face, he punches your identity." He moved down the line, tapping Budan Man on the chest. "Your unity isn't a costume. Your wings only work if you believe other people deserve to soar as much as you do." He gestured at Emo Rap. "Your emotions. Stop trying to hide them or weaponize them only as tragedy. Ever tried turning joy into a grenade?" Emo Rap sniffed. "George. That's why it's strong," Goku said. He pointed at Trump Rap. "Your voice is loud. That's a responsibility. Words are chai." He pointed at Karen Rap. "Your instinct to complain? That's shadow advocacy." turn into protection. Use it for those who can't speak. He moved to Mama Ama Rap and bowed slightly. Your nurture can heal or smother. This war needs your fierce version. Mama Ama smiled, but there was a new glint in her eye. Baby, the fierce version been waiting. Gamer Rap got a tap on the forehead. You see the battlefield like a map, Goku said. From now on, I want you calling plays mid-fight. Nerd Rap got a nod. Analyze everything. Tell us what Division Legion feeds on and how to starve them. Revite got a grin. You already know, Goku said. You're rewriting physics with faith. Revite chuckled. Somebody got to. Around them all, the chamber pulsed, listening. The invisible spirit did not interfere. It only provided the arena. Inside his mind, Anonymous took Toddler Yoku's hand. Alright, he said, no more leaving you in here. We're going together. Toddler Yoku's chant shifted. It lost some of its frantic edge and smoothed into a rhythm that felt balanced. 10 or 11, 10 or 11. We all go together now and forever. George nodded, stepping closer. Your venom? It's just your hurt looking for language. Your ancestors. We're your memory of surviving. Your inner child. He's your reason. He placed a rough hand on Anonymous's shoulder. Let all of us be one person. Venom rose within Anonymous, a greenish-purple smoke that could corrode, protect, or terrify. It coiled around inner child and ancestor, at first distrustful, then curious as the two didn't flinch. Toddler Yoku giggled and poked the venom. Hi, Snake, he said. Wanna play? George laughed, low and proud. Look at that. The thing you were scared of is just another part of you. The venom softened, reshaping into a translucent serpent that curled around them, not to choke, but to guard. An unseen door inside Anonymous clicked. In the physical chamber, his aura exploded. Purple flooded the room, edged with neon green threaded with gold. The floor shook. The rivers of Chakratati surged, wrapping around him like spirals of living light. Goku eyes widened. Oh yeah, he muttered. There it is. Edna and Peter appeared on the chamber's higher ledge, watching. The Traichi is knocking, Edna murmured. Door ain't open yet, Peter replied. He has to choose it in a real fight. Goku Rap looked up at them. Their eyes met. No words were needed. Then the chamber trembled with the call to action. The city was under attack. Invisible Spirit's voice rolled through the chamber like a bell. Go. When the Rap tribe arrived in the Metroplex, it was like dropping a sun into a storm. Udan Man flew first, Unity Wing slicing through the twisted sky. Wherever he passed, screaming crowds felt the sudden urge to take each other's hands instead of shove. Couples paused mid-argument, breathing in a little easier. Strangers yelled less, listened more. The light he left behind wasn't just pretty, it recalibrated hearts. Mama Ama Rap landed in the middle of a panicked highway. Cars had crashed into each other. People screamed, some injured, some frozen in fright. She struck the asphalt with her palm and sent healing waves through the wreckage. Metal bent back into shape. Glass floated up and reassembled into windshields. Broken bones knit, terrified eyes calmed. It's all right, baby, she said to a child curled under an overturned car. We here now. Rev Ike Rap chose a rooftop that faced 3 neighborhoods at once. He raised his hand, golden chi radiating like warm sunlight. Anyone who believes we can turn this around, he shouted, say yes. His voice echoed across blocks, through windows, into hearts. Hundreds shouted it. Yes. Their belief turned into tiny streams of golden energy that flew toward him. He gathered them, reshaping their power into a shockwave of command chi that pushed Division Legion back from several city blocks at once. Faith is a force, he murmured, and I am not afraid to use it. Gamer Rap and Nerd Rap perched near him, eyes glowing with digital and analytical overlays. Data coming in, Nerd Rap said. Division Legion spikes when people feel unseen, misunderstood, or singled out. They shrink when folks feel heard. So, Gamer Rap grinned. We gotta run a full empathy side quest mid-raid. Rev Ike smirked. Then let's patch some souls while we're punching demons. Goku Rap appeared on a skyscraper across from Twilight Zone Rap, teleporting without flair, just sudden presence. You really picked the wrong family to mess with, he said. Twilight Zone Rap tilted his head eyes like static pools. You think this is just about your little tribe? I'm trying to prove a point about existence itself. Yeah, Goku replied, and my existence is about breaking your points. He vanished, reappeared right in Twilight Zone Rap's face, fist cocked. The punch landed. Reality warped. In the streets below, racist Rap lunged at a mixed group of people huddled together. His punches turned into slurs that peeled at their sense of self. Udon Man Dove intercepting mid-swing. The clash shook the block. Your whole power set, Udon Man shouted, depends on people agreeing with you. Racist Rap sneered. They always will. Deep down, everybody needs someone to look down on. Udon Man laughed. It was a warm, mocking sound that made even racist Rap's face flicker. You ever been a real cookout? Udon Man asked. We don't do that there. He grabbed racist Rap's arm and flung him upward, wings flaring. The two took the fight skyward, one trying to divide, the other powered by every moment unity had made survival possible. On another block, Emo Rap faced Jealous Rap, their auras clashing in a storm of feelings. Emo Rap's tears fell as blazing light. You want everything they have, Emo Rap whispered. And you'd rather see it destroyed than admit you're hurting. Jealous Rap snarled, claws of envy ripping at his opponent's aura. Because I never get mine, he screamed. Emo Rap's tears hit the ground, sprouting flowers that glowed like soft lanterns. We both know that's a lie, Emo softened. Your story matters. You just never learned that somebody else's win doesn't make you less. He opened his arms, letting Jealous Rap's clawed strike pierce his aura. But instead of collapsing, Emo's chi flowed around the claw, absorbing it, then reshaping it into a hug made of light. Jealous Rap stiffened as the hug enveloped him. For the first time, his face crumpled into grief instead of anger. I just didn't want to disappear, he sobbed. Emo Rap held him tighter. You don't, not here. Jealous Rap flickered, then dissolved into a small, faintly glowing orb that drifted upward, its energy soft instead of sharp. High above, Twilight Zone Rap realized his legion wasn't feeding as fast as he'd hoped. He snarled, chi darkening. Fine, he hissed. If they won't break themselves, I'll break their center. He snapped his fingers. Betrayal Rap appeared across from Anonymous Cherry. They stood on the top of a building that had warped into a spiral staircase leading nowhere. The wind around them smelled like old hurt and burnt bridges. Betrayal Rap's coat flared in the unnatural breeze. His eyes were sharp, but behind the sharpness was something else. Something that knew what it was to have trusted and regretted it. Anonymous's snake chi stirred. We finally meet properly, Betrayal Rap said, voice smooth as poisoned honey. You're the favorite. He gestured with his chin toward the city. Chosen, protected, given chance after chance. Protected, Anonymous shot back. I almost died 9 times. Oh, I know, Betrayal Rap said. And every time someone stepped in, someone took a hit you didn't, someone covered for you, someone forgave you, someone believed you'd get it together. How long, he asked softly, before you let them down? The words hit like a punch. Images flashed through Anonymous's mind. People he'd promised to show up for and hadn't, messages he'd left unread, relationships he hadn't nurtured, his own mistakes and failures. Snake chi hissed defensively. Neoplasm chi surged, ready to swallow the feeling whole and drown it in numbness. Betrayal Rap stepped closer. That's my power, Anonymous, he whispered. I'm not just the hurt people do to you. I'm the hurt you do to others. I'm the fear that one day the people who believed in you will look at you and say you weren't worth it. He lashed out. The blade he swung wasn't metal. It was made of every moment someone had trusted Anonymous and he hadn't lived up to their hope. The strike hit his aura, and for a second it passed through. His heart ached like something tearing. He dropped to a knee. Goku Rap and Twilight Zone Rap clashed far above, their blows splitting clouds open, each impact sending loops of time stuttering. Udon Man collided with Racist Rap again and again. Revite blasted Command Chi at Cancel Rap, forcing people's names to reattach themselves to their humanity instead of their mistakes. But Anonymous's battle turned inward. Look at you, Betrayal Rap said softly. You think you're some chosen warrior of unity. You think you're going to carry inner child, ancestors, and venom like a crown. What if all you are is a walking disappointment with cool special effects? Anonymous's hands shook. Toddler Yoku's voice tried to rise inside him, but the noise of self-accusation drowned it. Then another voice pushed through. Edna Pemberton. Child, her voice rolled like thunder and comfort blended. Stand up. In the spirit dimension layered over the city, she placed a hand on Peter Johnson's arm. He can't merge in theory, she murmured. He has to merge here. Peter nodded. Time to tip the scale. George Cherry appeared inside Anonymous's inner space, stepping through the spinning chaos of doubts. Greg, he said, voice firm, look at me. Anonymous forced his eyes inward, seeing George standing there, older, gaze both gentle and unflinching. I messed up, Anonymous rasped. I've hurt people. I've let folks down. Maybe he's right. Maybe. George strode forward and grabbed him by the shirt. Of course you messed up, he said. We all have. You think I didn't. You think I died perfect. You think every ancestor in your line was some flawless saint. Tears burned at the corners of Anonymous's eyes. If you were waiting to deserve us, George continued, you'd never access us. Legacy isn't a prize for perfection. It's a resource for people willing to keep going. Behind him, other ancestors' shapes appeared. Edna's younger self. People Anonymous didn't have names for but felt in his bones. You're allowed to grow, George said. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to say, I'm sorry, and mean it, and then move different. That's what makes you worthy of the strength we give. Not your record, your decision. Toddler Yoku stepped up to George's other side, eyes shining. And I'm allowed to be here, he said, tiny but fierce. Not locked away just because grown-up you is scared of feeling like me. Venom swirled around them all, watching. What about me? The Venom whispered, voice like hissing steam. All I do is hurt things. George shook his head. You also protect. You respond fast when danger comes. You see threats others ignore. You're not the problem. You're a tool with no guidance. Toddler Yoku smiled. We can play by rules. We can decide what we do with you. Venom hesitated. What if I go too far, it asked. Then we pull you back, George replied. Together. Something in that word cracked the dam. Together. In the city, Betrayal Rap raised his blade for another strike. See, he said, you're too scared of who you are to even fight me properly. Anonymous exhaled. In the inner space, he took Toddler Yoku's hand with one and reached for George with the other. The ancestors placed their palms on his back. Venom flowed toward them, trembling unsure. An invisible cord snapped into place as they touched. Fine, Anonymous said. No more dividing myself. He opened his arms to all of them. I accept you, all of you, inner child, ancestors, Venom. We're not enemies. We're me. The inner space exploded with light. In the physical world, his aura detonated. The purple flames of his neoplasm Chi shot upward, threaded through with neon green serpentine energy and streaks of golden ancestral light. The air around him warped, not with distortion, but with density, as if reality respected the unity of what he had become. Betrayal Rap's blade came down. It struck the new aura and shattered. Anonymous rose slowly to his feet. His eyes glowed like amethyst suns with golden stars inside. Snake scales flickered across his skin in patterns that pulsed, then faded. Around his shoulders, ancestor silhouettes shimmered, their hands resting there as if they always had. Toddler Yoku's laughter rang gently in every heartbeat. The invisible spirit's voice rolled through the sky and chamber at once. Anonymous cherry. Tricing miracle form unlocked. Trike. Venom. Legacy. Inner child. 1. Betrayal Rap staggered back staring. What are you? Anonymous stepped forward, and the very ground seemed relieved to hold his feet. I'm the one you didn't plan for, he said quietly. The one who doesn't pretend he's perfect to earn his power. The one who knows his past and still chooses to move forward. The one whose hurt doesn't own him anymore. He raised his hands. Traichi coiled. This, he said, is for everyone I failed, and everyone who refused to give up on me. Betrayal Rap snarled and lunged, gathering every betrayal the city had ever known, every cheated trust, every abandoned child, every broken promise. He slammed it all into one final strike. Anonymous didn't dodge. He let it land. The blade of betrayal pierced his aura, and his aura caught it. The venom component of his Tri-Chi flowed over the attack, not destroying it, but neutralizing its toxicity. The ancestral component embraced the memory of each betrayal, absorbing it into a long lineage of hurt survived. The inner child component refused to let it calcify into cynicism, holding space for the possibility of repair. The energy reformed in his hands, swirling into a dense, crackling sphere. Cherry Shield combo upgraded by Tri-Chi Miracle. Go home, Anonymous whispered. He thrust his palms forward. The blast hit Betrayal Rap, not as annihilation, but as overwhelming truth. The energy forced him to see every betrayal he committed, every time he'd given up on people before giving them a chance to grow, every moment he'd chosen rejection instead of honesty. He screamed, the sound broken, confused, almost childlike. Then he collapsed into a kneeling position, hands on the ground. He stammered, I just didn't want to be disappointed again. Anonymous stepped close and placed a hand on his shoulder. You don't have to be our enemy, he said. You can be our warning, our lesson, our reminder. Betrayal Rap's form flickered, his dark coat softening, his eyes losing some of their bitter edge. I don't know how, he whispered. We'll figure it out, Anonymous replied. Together. The word echoed again. Together. High above, Twilight Zone Rap felt something in his own power base crumble. He snarled, twisting away from Goku Rap, whose new ascended totality form had been wearing him down. Enough, Twilight Zone Rap roared. If I can't break you here, I'll make sure you never get the chance to heal again. He slammed both hands into the sky. Rifts burst open above the city. Time buckled. People saw older versions of themselves, younger versions, alternate possibilities. Confusion spread like wildfire. For a brief second, the entire Metroplex doubted its own timeline, history, and future. Unity faltered. Division Legion felt the surge. But before it could swell into something catastrophic, another power rose. Unity wings cast a wide shadow. Udon Man hovered above the city, arms wide, powered now not just by physical hand-holding, but by the deeper unity of shared story, shared history, shared struggle. Listen to me, Udon Man shouted, voice amplified beyond physics. We are not the sum of our divisions. We are the sum of our connections. Images flared across the sky. Cookouts, protests, church services, backyard barbecues, playgrounds, studios, grave sites where 2 young lives had been wept over by hands of every shade and story. Unity wasn't theoretical. It was lived, messy, imperfect, real. The rifts trembled. Goku Rap appeared in front of Twilight Zone Rap again, beat up but every bit as bright. You keep trying to break them by showing them how fragile they are, Goku said. But you're forgetting something. Twilight Zone Rap snarled, swinging another distortion punch. Goku blocked it with an open palm glowing like compressed starlight. What could I possibly be forgetting? The villain spat. That fragility, Goku said, is exactly what makes them strong when they choose each other anyway. He smirked, and they've already chosen. On cue, voices rose from the city below. Not in unison at first. Scattered, imperfect, then converging. We rise as one. Emo Rap shouted it through tears. Trump Rap shouted it with surprising sincerity. Karen Rap shouted it like a complaint turned into a demand for justice. Gamer Rap shouted it like a victory call. Nerd Rap shouted it like a hypothesis proven. Mama I'm a Rap shouted it like a prayer answer. Revike shouted it like a decree. Anonymous Cherry shouted it with every ancestor and every near-death brush behind him. Buddha Man shouted it as a promise. The chant became a pulse of energy. Unity Chi surged up, combining with Goku Rap's Totality Saiyan Chi. Anonymous' Traichi Miracle, Revike's Command Chi, Mama's Mother Storm, Emo's Transformed Tears, Gamer's Strategy Grid, Nerd's Analytical Precision, Buddha Man's Wings. The blast hit Twilight Zone Rap full in the chest. This wasn't just a hit to his body. It was a hit to his thesis. No, he rasped, reality warping around him, cracking. They're not supposed to, old. The sky screamed as his aura fractured. Even if you beat me here, he growled with his last coherent breath, there are always cracks. Always people who choose fear. Always. His form flickered. He didn't die. He scattered. Little bits of Twilight Zone Chi shot across the world, embedding themselves in future conflicts, future wounds, future temptations to give up on unity. But for now, in this city, in this battle, he was gone. The Division Legion froze, their power source disrupted. Some dissolved, some fled, some like betrayed.